like to have a roll call to get the attendance. Ms. Zarnicki, could you do that, please?
Yes. Mr. Faison.
Here.
Mr. Hudson. Mr. Krent.
Here.
Mr. Lambert.
Here.
Ms. Malala Holly. I think.
She mouthed the words.
Here. Thank you. I have you. Ms. Parakis.
Here.
Mr. Rahman.
Here.
Mr. Roush.
Here.
Mr. Tagle.
Here.
Quorum present, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. At this point, I'd like to have someone move to postpone this meeting to the next, from 2 weeks. Mr. Roush?
I would move that we postpone the meeting for 2 weeks.
Yes, Mr. Savadan. You have,
We also clearly stipulate that not only are we postponing the meeting, but we're postponing the public hearing for item number 6.
all right.
That would be included in my proposal.
Very good. Do we have a second for Mr. Roush's? Mr.
Second.
Faison? Okay, go back to Ms. Zarnicki for a roll call on that.
Can we actually have a little bit of discussion so the public understands why
okay.
we are doing what we're doing?
All right. Open for discussion. Anyone want to say that, or do you want me to just?
Mr. Savana, do you want to just sort of make a brief statement so the public understands?
Yeah, the meeting is being postponed because we're experiencing difficulties with our Zoom remote meeting platform, and we're unable to take public comment. Therefore, this meeting does not afford the ability for the public to participate to the fullest extent that they should be able to under the Open Meetings Act. So we are going to postpone all items for 2 weeks, the 25th. Is that
Very
okay,
good. Any
Jim?
other
Yes, thank
comments
you.
before a vote? Hearing none. Ms. Zarnicki, a vote roll call, please.
Mr. Krent.
Yes.
Mr. Lambert.
Yes.
Ms. Malala Holly.
Yes.
Ms. Parakis.
Yes.
Mr. Rahman.
Yes.
Mr. Roush.
Yes.
Mr. Tagle.
Yes.
Mr. Faison.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. And so with that, we can adjourn the meeting, I take it.
We
Mr.
can,
Craig,
go ahead.
If I could just real quick, we've
Go ahead.
got Eric and Jordan and Jason on from the applicants, and I just want to formally apologize for the error. I appreciate your understanding, Jason, but you know you've got busy lives like everyone else, and I apologize for this. And what I'd like to do is get together for a discussion this week, if you wouldn't mind, with any or all of you, if that's okay. I'll reach out to you. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Maybe tomorrow. I'm out of town Thursday and Friday.
Okay. Thank
But
you.
it's okay, Brent. I mean, these things happen.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
What are you going to do? So.
Okay, any other points for discussion? Go ahead, Ms. Dufresne.
Yeah, and no one needs to make a decision right now, but going forward, because we'll no longer be under the emergency order, at least fingers crossed, we won't have any more emergency orders in the near future. What the Open Meeting Act provides is that if you are instead of having any reason remote meeting, you either have to cite being in the military or a medical condition. So if anyone can cite or would like to cite to a medical condition in order to continue to meet remotely, you just need to let us know ahead of time so that we can have that set up. You don't need to tell us what the medical condition is, but if there's a reason that you don't want to participate remotely, let Brent or Jackie know in advance of next meeting so we can have that all set up.
And it can be any reasonable medical reason.
And again, we don't need to know you don't need to
Yeah.
cite the actual medical condition. It just needs to say you're using the exemption under the Open Meeting Act, which allows you to participate remotely because of a medical condition.
Very good. Any other comments from the commission or staff? Go ahead, Mr. Faison.
Just a question for when we come back. So is there going to be social distancing in the room and between the commissioners? Or how does that configuration work?
Yes, there'll be social distancing. There'll be spacing of places at the dais, spacing at tables, the use of clear plastic barriers, All
Okay.
attendees will be expected to have face masks on at all times, spacing in the audience, et cetera. Yes, every precautions will be made so that that the meeting can be conducted safely and in
Yeah, there were-
accordance with all regulations.
There were questions like that raised last night during the city council meeting, Mr. Faison, and the cleaning staff will be charged with making sure that the place where your computer is and where you're sitting at the dais will be cleaned. I think there's even going to be cleaning materials, like if you're someone like me who doesn't trust that it was cleaned and you want to do it yourself, you'll be able to do that. There'll be
Oh, okay. There'll be materials for you to use yourself if you choose, right? Okay.
That's my understanding,
Yep,
and now
yep.
that I've said it, I'll make sure that there's something there.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you, both of you. Yep.
Okay, any other comments before we adjourn? Go ahead, Ms. Malala Holly. For some reason, we're not hearing you.
Oh, I don't,
And now we can. Go ahead.
okay. Last time we were talking about the community for the public hearing participation, that is, they would be set up in a different location and the commissioners will be in a different location. Is that how the setup is going to be going forward as well?
So I don't think the details sorry, Brent, I don't think the details on that have been completely fleshed out. The problem is we cannot turn someone away from, if they want to come in to where the meeting is being held, we cannot turn them away. Obviously, we'll have public health, safety, and welfare issues related to, making sure we comply with social distancing and whatever. So to say that it'll only be planning commissioners in chambers and then other, public will be someplace else, I don't think that's going to be 100% the case. I think we may have a couple of locations set up to accommodate public participation.
I see. Okay.
Ms. Barakis.
I was just curious, are we going to freeze and roll the agenda over, or if new items come in, are we going to be adding to this agenda?
I think we'll be adding to this agenda, rolling these items over plus adding some items.
Do we have items, Brent, that are already noticed, like public hearing notices that went out for the 25th?
Not public hearing notices, but
Okay.
I've informed developers that they're going to be on the
Okay.
agenda.
So there's nothing other than what we put on in the usual course. There's nothing that has to go on because there's been a public notice. Okay.
No.
Anything else? Well, seeing none, I guess we're adjourned.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.